for the day, August 17. Steps to Christ, Chapter 1, God's Love for Man, Part 3. It was to redeem us that Jesus lived and suffered and died. He became a man of sorrows, that we might be made partakers of everlasting joy. God permitted his beloved Son, full of grace and truth, to come from a world of indescribable glory to a world marred and blighted with sin, darkened with the shadow of death and the curse. He permitted him to leave the bosom of his love, the adoration of angels, to suffer shame, insult, humiliation, hatred, and death. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Isaiah 53, verse 5. Behold him in the wilderness, in Gethsemane, upon the cross. The spotless Son of God took upon himself the burden of sin. He who had been one with God felt in his soul the awful separation that sin makes between God and man. This wrung from his lips the anguished cry, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Matthew 27, verse 46. It was the burden of sin, the sense of its terrible enormity, of its separation of the soul from God. It was this that broke the heart of the Son of God. But this great sacrifice was not made in order to create in the Father's heart a love for man, not to make him willing to save. No. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. John 3, verse 16. The Father loves us, not because of the great propitiation, but because he provided the propitiation, because he loves us. Christ was the medium through which he could pour out his infinite love upon a fallen world. God was in Christ, reconciling the world unto himself. 2 Corinthians 5, verse 19. God suffered with his Son. In the agony of Gethsemane, the death of Calvary, the heart of infinite love paid the price for our redemption. Jesus said, Therefore doth my Father love me, because I lay down my life, that I might take it again. John 10, verse 17. That is, my Father has so loved you, that he even loves me more for giving my life to redeem you. In becoming your substitute and surety, by surrendering my life, by taking your liabilities, your transgressions, I am endeared to my Father, for by my sacrifice God can be just, and yet the justifier of him who believeth in Jesus. None but the Son of God could accomplish our redemption, for only he who was in the bosom of the Father could declare him. Only he who knew the height and depth of the love of God could make it manifest. Nothing less than the infinite sacrifice made by Christ in behalf of fallen man could express the Father's love to lost humanity. This is the end of part 3. Have a blessed day, everyone. You watch them lead him down the road that led to Pilate's hall. You watch them beat him on his back while the blood did freely fall. You watch them place a crown of thorn and spit upon his face. Mother, worst of all the moments came when he heard his own Son say, my God, have you forsaken me? Was a cry he heard coming from the middle tree. In agony, he watched him crucified his son, but his heart was crushed when he heard that awful cry. He shook the earth with a mighty quake, and he hid the sun from view. He struck the hearts of the priests with fear when he rent the veil in two. My God, why have you forsaken me? Was a cry he heard coming from the middle tree. In agony, he watched him crucified his son, but his heart was crushed when he heard that awful cry. But his heart was crushed